Greetings, YouTube. This is Fragments of Memory, aka the Armchair Philosopher, and I am responding to a book. The name of this book is The Female Solution. I'm going to get it in here. It's called The Female Solution: A Vision for the Future. It's written by a Naima Latif. Now, Naima Latif is a very insightful sister who wrote this book, and she's actually on YouTube. The name of the website or the YouTube channel is The Media Connection TV. Again, that is The Media Connection TV. And I just want to kind of give my review on this book, The Female Solution. She's been talking about like why there's so many problems in the Black community dealing with men and women in relationships, and her book really gets down and dirty with it. And one of the things that she points out is that the woman is a very important part, the backbone of the Black community, of any community, because number one, the woman gives birth to the children and raises them. The mother is the first teacher. There's an old saying that says, the hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. I find some truth in that. And in essence, a mother sets the tone. She is the template for her offspring and how they function in the world. If mom is in a good, loving relationship, ultimately the children will seek out good, loving relationships. And she talks about this in her book. This I will agree with, because children are imitators. Children often imitate the adults that are primarily and constantly around them. The woman, again, makes the sexual choice. She decides who is going to have her and ultimately whose seed she's going to carry. And I think lately, as Miss Latif also points out, that lately a lot of women are not making the best choices in men. And as a result, we're having a lot of children that are being born and there's no father in the home. And she talks about the importance of women selecting good men that are both husband and father material, not just husbands that not just a live-in lover or a boyfriend who's just going to have fun, access to her body and have fun with her, but not give her a marital commitment. So I enjoyed the book. I even like how she gave examples from the animal kingdom and how this is how animals rear and raise up their children. And I also feel like in a small way, or maybe in a larger way, this Female Solution book is sort of saying to men, if you're a man and you read this, to sort of step your game up. I guess that's the best way to put it. And again, I'm not speaking to all Black men or all men, period, but I do feel that many women are making bad choices because they don't know what a good man is. They just see the bad men around and then choose that. And just because he, quote unquote, has swag doesn't necessarily mean he's a good husband or a good father. And it's more than just shaking the sheets for you, if I may be slightly vulgar about that. And also, I think a woman needs to realize, well, not me, but I say the book talks about the woman realizing her worth of who she is. And I think that will be, I think that's also good. And again, she draws examples from the animal kingdom. She even takes quotes from the Bible and the Quran. So now she herself is an Ahmadiyyan. She's part of the Ahmadiyya sect. Now, I myself don't necessarily subscribe to the teachings of the Ahmadiyya sect. I disagree with them in many respects, but she does make a very good point about if you're someone who claims to be Muslim or Christian, there are guidelines for what should be given as what a good family is in the Bible and in the Quran. She does give an honest look at relationships. She's very honest. She doesn't pull any punches. And she really hits home the importance of being selective. And too often today, and I've commented on my videos, is the fact that seems to be a lot of sexual gratification or the desire to gratify sex, but with no emotional commitment, no actual putting a ring on it, or no actual getting your finances in life in order to rear and have a family of your own and have a wife of your own. She even looks at polygamy, or shall I say polygyny, the practice of a man having more than one wife, and she breaks down what polygyny is and what it isn't. And she gives you some really positive looks at a man having more than one wife. A good man is going to take care of his family. She does point out that it is not a it's not a way for a man to just bliss himself out and then not take care of any responsibilities. There's a great responsibility in being a husband to more than one wife, and it may be a way to help keep the family intact. So I don't know how people feel about polygamy or polygyny, excuse me, polygyny, but she does really describe it in detail, and I don't want to give away all the details because she does have really good points to make. There was even a quote, and again, this is just talking about how a woman's important in shaping the future of a nation, and unfortunately, women have forgotten this and are carelessly giving themselves up to the wrong types of men. And then, of course, she ultimately ends up, if she has a son, she produces a man that is worthless. And if she has a daughter that's just going to go around and deal with worthless men, again, repeating the cycle over and over again. There was a quote in the book that struck me as just, it jumped out at me. And it basically says this: a woman who does not raise her sons properly is abusing other women. Now, Hazrat Mirza Tahir Ahmad Khalifatul Masih IV, I believe that's some Ahmadiyyan thing, really hit that home. And again, that was just a really good point, that if you're not raising your children right, you're unleashing them onto an unsuspecting world. You're unleashing a killer, a murderer, a thief, and you're making it bad for everyone else. She even wrote this really good quote here, and I'm going to just read a few passages from the book itself. And it says, if women are able to make good choices and can select good men who are emotionally mature enough to become stable husbands and fathers, they can prevent the cycle of crime stemming from fatherlessness. Again, fathers are very important. Think of all the individuals and families that are hurt by crime and violence. Have you been the victim of crime? We can blame drugs, alcohol, guns, cars, whatever we want to blame, but inanimate objects don't commit destructive acts. People do. And this is true. If there is no character development, we can't scream about gun control and all drug reform if the person themselves have not been educated. So in that respect, I feel that if we had better family structure, and like her, and let me go on. How do parents feel when they have taken pains to raise a good, honest, intelligent, obedient child, only to have that child's life snuffed out by an angry, violent child whose parents fail to instill the child with love, high self-esteem, and respect for others? So how does that feel, you know? My child was a good child, but then, and again, I don't have any children, never have, but let's say I had a child, and that child gets killed by some ignorant child that didn't get his mind right, you know, something that parents didn't get him right in the world. And you've unleashed this crazy sociopathic, psychopathic being onto the planet. So I would say, mothers, if you're single, I don't know what to tell you, but I would say get this book. Get The Female Solution, A Vision for the Future, by Naima Latif, very intelligent lady. And watch them daily at www.youtube.com, The Media Connection TV. Thank you all very much for tuning in. I do hope that you check her out and you do get the book. The book, I believe, is only $12 US, and I believe she's got contact information. But I think it's worth a read. It's worth your dollars, and you're supporting something positive. So be easy like Sunday morning. Thank you very much for coming out, or just thank you for tuning in. Sorry. Be easy. Take care.